What is going on YouTube? This is Mat4yo. So I'm going to review a collaboration EP between Hoops and Hip Hop. I'm going to review a collaboration EP between the rapper Mat4yo and Hoops and Hip Hop, who I think is the producer of this particular product. And basically this product is called Passionroots, and it came out in the late fall of 2019. So the pitch behind this product here is just like a brief snappy kind of EP within those pitches, but some excellent type fare because Mat4yo had dropped a series of products throughout like the mid and late 2010s as far as those pitch kind of happens. There's some definite excellent appeal to get here. Recommend all 6 of the songs off this particular product system. Excellent type of appeals to be able to get. But I look after just being able to say within the pitch behind it. The thing about this product here, within the particular fair, the thing to know about Mat4yo within the pitch behind it is if you're familiar with like the Summer Solstice mixtape pitches like that, that one was a little bit more urban, a little bit more step out within the synth. This is a lot more gentler within the pitch. Not so much gentler in terms of just like not as apt in terms of like the pitch, but just the tone and like the overall approach as to how this particular product kind of goes is just a little bit more just serene in pitches like that. It's kind of the tone of just not like when you think of songs by Mat4yo off of like Summer Solstice, like particularly like Need for Speed and some of those type of ones that were more. I have recently put some Mat4yo songs on my MP3 player pitches like that, but I need to get to listen to like a series more of these. But I definitely remember like some of the more upbeat kind of city hopping type ones. The particular Summer Solstice product definitely had like some urban bops on there in terms of like nacho runs and pitches like that, some Wingstop type places, the summer kind of this evening scene kind of cruise outs and pitches like that, just with the aspect of like some getting arounds. But this particular one, not like it's not social within a certain degree, but if you're looking for a song like Need for Speed with twos and some of those type pitches or just other ones like that, some of those particular type of appeals that just like some more city hopping. For the most part, it's a little bit more, I mean, this does have a neighborhood bound type one on here, but it's just a little bit more isolated within the pitch, not quite as social as like for the other. Not quite as social as the other product I know by Mat4yo as far as this first game, but it's definitely excellently produced. It's definitely some excellent type of appeal, pretty excellently produced. This Hoops and Hip Hop cat's pretty good within these pitches. So just be able to say here, really within the aspect behind it, there isn't like a single off this product seemingly within the pitch, but I still would have to say the most popular song according to Spotify is Masquerade. So that's the song I'm going to talk about first. But I recommend all 6 songs. So this EP gets a 10 out of 10, simple enough within the pitch. But Masquerade is like a murky kind of pop rap step out to kind of get here. Just a good trap bounce about this one. Some pretty nice food for thought. It's like a pretty nice food for thought kind of stunt tune to kind of get within these aspects here, and it's like a real gliss type one within the pitch. So it's just kind of the tone, has minor licks like a trap, just late 2010s type fare within the fashion. Now this is without like cuss words, pitches like that, explicit content within the format, and just more kind of typical kind of trap snarl, this drug usage pitch. Heavy drug usage pitches like that, and I even caught within the song as far as on the song Masquerade, Mat4yo basically saying that he doesn't drink or smoke or really hasn't ever within those pitches. So it's just kind of the format, apart from secondhand smokes and those type pitches. It's just within the pitch as far as saying this is some excellent type of appeal. It's just a little bit more of like a glissy and starry type version, like standard type trap bounce, but it's just within the pitch as far as saying just the product of it. Kind of reminds me of like Juice WRLD meets Lil Baby as far as those first gonna happen. So just with the pitch, I mean, Mat4yo's pretty good at trap beats. He was able to do them pretty blisteringly with like the mid 2010s trap type sound that he did with Summer Solstice. So he definitely has the ability, if you check out songs like Need for Speed and some of those type ones within the pitch behind it. Can't really think. It might have been Inner City, some of those type ones. I forget which particular one. There are some social ones. It might have been Menace, might have been Inner City, some of those particular type ones. I don't remember his full bound, but Menace or Inner Cities, maybe First to Advance, some of those type pitches. But Menace, Inner Cities, First to Advance, some of those type pitches within the format. But yeah, Mat4yo is definitely pretty excellent with the trap type fare, but it's just quieter on here. In terms of like the more sociable kind of conduct, like I said, it's just a little bit more warped and melded type product as far as this first gonna happen. Just a lot more bleary and kind of pink and purple skies, just like the album cover, which is a pretty excellent, beautiful type album cover within those pitches. Just real nice tone, pretty vivid within the tone. Mat4yo has some pretty excellent album covers from the pitches from what I've seen of them, so it's just some good type for this, just real thrilling. But yeah, this is just kind of the meld of the project, but I look after here, it's Masquerade is basically the most popular song according to Spotify, which most of these have at least 4,000, 3,000 plays within these pitches, or pretty much all of them are within that range. All 6 of these have somewhere between 2,000, 5,000 plays, so it's just one pitch, but Masquerade is the standout in terms of like the most. That's the one that got the most spins on Spotify. But in terms of like other sociable type pitches within the format, this is probably the one that has like the most consecutive type appeal within the pitch behind it. But this is kind of, it's more food for thought kind of stunt within the pitch. It's kind of more, it's just more NF and kind of Juice WRLD type style within the pitch, minus the drug use of Juice WRLD as far as this pitch can have. But I look after within the tone, still some excellent type fare. So there's some other type ones on here. Concave Heart is a pretty nice one, as well as like an in-between kind of Final Fantasy-like brooding to kind of get within. Concave Heart is like an in-between kind of Final Fantasy-like brooding to kind of get here. Just smoke a bit, pitches like that. Grab some Fritos, kind of chillax type gem pitches like that. I'd say it's a pretty serene type hit to kind of get. It's basically like getting some lo-fi type music in a Final Fantasy type sense. It's just excellent type pitch to get that format as far as what's first going to happen. Just good smoke up some of those type fares within the aspect. Maybe watch a movie like Final Fantasy. Within a relative type sense, like throwback, I realized that Final Fantasy Advent Children, some of those type movies, so within those pitches are a little bit within. That's a more rambunctious type fashion, but I think Final Fantasy Advent Children could more or less be pulled out. I think watching that particular movie when you're completely blitzed as hell, some of those type pitches, I think it definitely, not to say like it's a bad movie whatsoever, because it has some good type feels, but just the pitch of something like Advent Children, easily watching things like Constantine, some of those type pitches, some of those type fares, police story movies like that, just within some of those type aspects, plenty of those type tones, and just Mission Impossible, some of those type tangents within the pitch as far as this first time. I look within the aspects as far as saying was just easy kind of Fritos type music, just lo-fi kind of Final Fantasy pitches like that. Some good type fair. It's a good type fair. It's just real serene type one. Grassroots is a nice one as well as like a routine kind of day shift commerce kind of get within the tones behind it. Just kind of chum along here just within the pitch as far as those first gonna happen. Just lackadaisical and doldrum-esque kind of basics as far as those first gonna go. So just the pitch. This one just kind of has more of like kind of like a YouTube advertisement commercial kind of fare about it. The song Grassroots has like a YouTube ad commercial kind of fare about it as far as those pitches kind of happen just with the tone, just like a basic kind of lackadaisical kind of just picnic and just in between kind of luncheon type fare. And say Grassroots just feels pretty routine to like a YouTube ad, something of those relative type pitches, but just very lackadaisical, just basic within the day sunshine of it, just kind of a pitch of some of that lambent kind of activity, some of those type frolics where you would just be wearing like pastel colors, something more lighthearted, some of those type pitches within the format, just kind of real light-licked and frolic as far as those first kind of excellent type of appeal. Smell the Roses is a nice one as well. It's like a dusky and tumbleweed like outing brush kind of get within these aspects here. Just a mellow kind of snack run music, some of those particular type fares, and it's like some pop rap gloom as far as those fares going to happen. So just within pitch, this one just kind of feels a little bit more Western like within the aspect, just a little bit more outback amidst like the tone of just like more kind of just atypical type formats. But I like the pitch behind this one. This one just has a little bit more kind of bristle about. Smell the Roses just has a little bit more bristle about it within the aspects as far as what's first going to happen. Just works for like a good kind of brushy kind of autumn sounds type fares just from the pitch behind it, but it just kind of has the aspect. It's kind of something a little bit more inventive within the pitch as far as what's first going to happen. When you think of like the Tibble type format of disc, more step outs within a more snarl type sense, just kind of the aspect of disc, maybe it is like a more gravel road type fashion, some of those type. Maybe it is a more gravel road type fashion, some of those type pitches where it'd be a little bit more of like a traveled walk to kind of get to like some snack run type places, getting like Butterfingers and Reese's Cups, some of those type pitches within the format and other things like that, getting like Doritos and Bugles, some of those type fares within pitches. It's just kind of the tone of just hop and bop type out and about, but just kind of in a more brush type sense with the aspect. This really feels like that Tibble kind of dust type fare. So it's just real nice orange skies type one, just some good type pitch, just after like simple kind of kickback, just like a glaze type sense. Good type of build. And a lot of this is pretty pop rap. I would say that Mat4yo basically does have some pop rap type appeal within these pitches. Is this kind of in the format just like a healthy? I mean, I feel like he is in certain senses has the same edge factor as NF, some of those type pitches, but he just doesn't have. He's just not as personable and doesn't brood as much full bound. I mean, there's some moments for that relatively more on here, but it's just a little bit more healthy kind of face value type within the pitch behind it. It's just kind of within the same vein as NF, but just without the religious kind of tones about it. So some good type pitches, but just being able to say Cosmic Wanderer is a nice one. This feels like it probably could have been a single, something like that. It's like a good NF styled kind of 2010s radio grab to kind of get within these aspects. It's a basic kind of makeshift evening bleed. I'd had to say here some of those type fares. One of those type ones that you would typically see. One of those type ones that you would typically kind of see out of 2010s, like songs like NF would do like Time and Let You Down, some of those type pitches within the format of it, just some of that particular type fare. There's plenty of other folks that kind of did fares like that as well. I just can't think of them as full bound. There's definitely some Mudhouse type music just in an evening sense. It's kind of a format. Cosmic Wanderer goes with Smell the Roses, I'd had to say, but it's just within the pitch. This one's not as snack run oriented within the pitch, just a little bit more traverse within the pitch. It just hitting up like a Starbucks or a good Mudhouse, some of those type places within the format as far as getting towards like the concept, like a mild kind of in between kind of activity, some of those type pitches, just like weekday kind of some decent kind of weekday kind of reprieve as far as those fares can have. So good type pitch. There's one more song I haven't talked about on here, trying to think which one it is. I think it's actually Brand New Life within those pitches, which is another good nice one. It's like a glitzy kind of NF vibes and like a healthier sense, I'd have to say here. Just some pink skies kind of embrace, I'd say, about this one. Kind of some morning shine also and some good peer as far as those fares going to happen. So Brand New Life is like a good morning shine kind of peer as far as those pitches going to go. So just either way, whether it's 8 o'clock in the morning or like 6:45 p.m. pitches like that where the skies would be pink or purple, some of those type aspects within it. Just kind of a good balmy type one, just the aspect like some bright and just kind of overall joviality and cheer within a relative mellow kind of sense. So it just kind of has the fashion, just like that real kind of dreariness, just the aspect of this where kind of more or less things feel kind of healthy and gummy out within some type pitch. Just one of those type days where it's kind of one of those type days where you just do feel a little bit healthier within the aspect. But it's just kind of the tone as far as saying just good aspect to kind of get within those tones within it. So look within the pitch as far as saying so snappy kind of EP within the pitch. 10 out of 10 scores what I give it, recommending all 6 songs within those pitches just to be able to say the social score. It's kind of tricky more or less within the pitch behind it. I'd probably give the social score maybe like a 9.75. But look within the pitch, these songs are pretty quality on here. I would say Masquerade is a good trap type one within relative sense. It's a reminding of like Summer Solstice, Similar type fairs. It's kind of in a healthier type aspect. Concave Heart's pretty good within the aspect like some in-between type fashions. One of the few smoke songs I'd say full bound in here. But then I guess Masquerade more or less, even though Mat4yo doesn't smoke, that doesn't mean that you can't. So it has some good type moments for having that smoke type fashion. Concave Heart really has the pitch behind getting some Fritos and some smokage, some of those type pitches. Concave Heart really has that tone between getting some Fritos and some smokage. Smell the Rose is definitely within the aspect like a snack run type fare, just with the pitch of just out and about in like a bustle and kind of bristly kind of sense. I would say Cosmic Wander is just kind of a pitch like the radiograph, like the weekday kind of commerce of just getting along to like the traffic of like makeshift and pitches like that. Just kind of some good type tones. Brand New Life's just kind of morning, early evening kind of embrace pitches like that. Just kind of your affluent. It's kind of your welcome mat and your relief as far as those fairs can have for both tangents of that. And Grassroots is just kind of like a standard kind of day shift kind of Tuesday or picnic kind of strut some of those fairs. So it's just some pitches for us and some good aspects within those tones. 9.75 just because the commercial full boundness of Mat4yo, he does have that commercial bite within those pitches. Pretty much a good offshoot of NF and some of those type folks within the format. But I do find myself missing like the overall urban bite and a little bit more Wingstop and Nachos type pop off type moments, a little bit more socials. The social bite and the froggy kind of pizzazz of Summer Solstice. But it's not to say this project is bad, it's just a little bit more melded, a little bit more. This kind of feels like some adaptation as far as like the format of just previously being forlorn, but just with the pitch as far as saying that just getting comfortable with like the aspects of just kind of just getting comfortable after personal type sorrow pitches like that, I'd say within the tones. But yeah, in terms of future, like Mat4yo's been kind of quiet. I noticed that he recently kind of updated his YouTube page pitches like that, but apart from those, so in terms of future, I'd seen recently that Mat4yo is raising a family as far as those aspects going to happen, so you may not have as much full bound time to kind of pump out more albums like that as far as those pitches kind of happen. It's just within excellence as far as saying this is 2 for 2 within those excellent type appeals to the blistering type products I've seen. There's one that I wanted to particularly get to, which I forget what it's called, but particularly like I did want to get to 2017's Anthology, some of those type pitches, so we'll get to some more of those within those pairs. But yeah, I wanted to get this reviewed because, I wanted to get a follow-up project by Mat4yo reviewed because I didn't really have him scheduled pitches like that, so it probably would have been easily into 2026 before I would have gotten to this product, and considering that this is only 6 songs, this feels good to get this within the format of getting some more of these pumped out within some of those type pitches. So yeah, Anthology, some of those type products would be on the way within some of those type pitches, but it's probably not within the schedule like the next recent while for those pitches. But I'd say it's an easy classic here, just when those pitches kind of melded, but I like the aspect behind it. I do like the kind of soft core and just kind of more, I do like the more soft core and Purple Skies kind of evening bleed as far as those fairs going to happen.